once walked into a room full of NBA sharpshooters and told them they were all playing for second place. According to me, that's the kind of cold-blooded confidence you just don't see anymore. And trust me, when Larry Bird said it, he wasn't joking. He meant every word. And here's where it gets even crazier. It's 1986, the very first NBA three-point contest. Future Hall of Famers are lacing up, eyeing the trophy, maybe running through their game plan. Then the locker room door swings open, and in walks Larry Bird. He doesn't shake hands, doesn't warm up to anyone. He just scans the room like he's picking out his next victim. Then he drops the line. Which one of you is coming in second? That's it. No smirk, no laugh, just cold, flat delivery. He turns around and walks out. The room is dead silent, half in shock, half wondering if he's serious.
I was in the All-Star game with you when you walked in and asked who was going to get second place in the three-point contest. When you walked in there, what were you thinking when you made that announcement to the room? Just messing with all those guys like you always did?
Yeah, I didn't. Everybody's sitting there. Everybody's real quiet. You really didn't. You knew the guys, but you never were around them, and nobody's really saying anything.
Fast forward to the contest. Bird isn't just winning, he's putting on a clinic. When he gets to his final rack, he already knows it's over. Before the last ball even leaves his hand, he raises his finger in the air. Number one. The shot drops, the crowd goes wild, and his earlier statement becomes prophecy. What would you even do if someone called their win before it happened, and then delivered like that? Why, it's hilarious. That wasn't trash talk, it was a spoiler alert. But wait, this next one might be Bird's most jaw-dropping magic trick ever. Game 5 of the 1987 Eastern Conference Finals. Pistons up by 1, just seconds left. Detroit has the ball. All they need is to inbound, get fouled, hit free throws. Game over. Isaiah Thomas is inbounding, scanning for his teammate. The Celtics' defense is locked in. At least that's what Detroit thinks. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Larry Bird appears on the baseline. It's like he teleported. Isaiah releases the pass, and Bird snatches it clean, all in one fluid motion, like he'd been rehearsing it in his head for hours. Without even thinking, Bird fires the ball to a cutting Dennis Johnson, who lays it in with 1 second left. Boston wins. The Garden explodes. Isaiah later joked that Bird stood on the baseline like a ballerina.
But the thing I remember the most is that Joker. This is the out of bounds line. That Joker caught the ball, and in my mind, I'm like, okay, he going out of bounds. That dude did this, like a ballerina. The baseline is right up under his toes. And in my mind, he must have stood there for about 5 seconds because everything was going in slow motion in my mind, right? And it's like, I'm like, and then it's a strange moment. I'm like, damn, how you doing that?
And honestly, that's exactly what it looked like. Smooth, graceful, absolutely effortless. That was pure predator instinct. What would you have done in Thomas's shoes? Because honestly, no one expects that play except Larry Bird. Graceful, and why it's hilarious. He made one of the greatest steals in NBA history look like he was just out for a stroll. This part blew my mind because Reggie Miller was the guy you didn't want to get into a trash talk battle with. But rookie Reggie must have felt brave because he tried it against Larry Bird. Bird steps to the free throw line, the game on the line, the crowd buzzing. Reggie leans in with some classic chatter, trying to throw him off. Bird turns, locks eyes with him, and delivers a verbal knockout. Reggie, are you freaking kidding me? I'm the best shooter this game has ever seen.
In Market Square Arena at the time, and it was a close game, but they were going to end up winning it. He's at the free throw line. And gamesmanship and talking a little bit, I'm going to try to, throw off his rhythm, thinking I'm going to throw off Larry Bird's rhythm. And as the official goes to give the guy the ball, you'll cross the lane, like, hold up, you'll cross the lane and, just try to ice the shooter a little bit, dribble it once. It's like, Reggie, are you freaking kidding me? Reggie, are you kidding me? I'm the best shooter this game has ever seen. You think you're gonna be able to ice me as he's talking? Next one, wow. Damn. I walk to the other side, and Kevin McHale goes, yeah, that was kind of stupid of you to do something like that, right? I'm like, oh, He's like, I am the best shooter this game, and he's saying it out loud so everyone can see. I'm like, oh my God.
No pause, no grin, just pure matter-of-fact confidence. Bird refocuses, takes the shot, and swish, nothing but net. Meanwhile, Reggie's probably wondering if he just poked a sleeping bear. Even Kevin McHale, standing right there, looked at Reggie and said, that was stupid. And he was right, because you never, ever try to ice Larry Bird at the line. Why it's hilarious. The league's most notorious talker got shut down mid-sentence. And the crowd didn't just see a shot, they witnessed Bird's ego slam dunk. And here's where Bird's trash talk took a sharp turn. Mid-game, Charles Barkley hears Bird muttering under his breath, clearly annoyed. Barkley finally asks what's wrong. Bird doesn't hesitate. He's got something to say. You guys are being disrespectful to me, putting a white guy on me. That's Bird's response, dead serious. Barkley bursts into laughter, thinking it's a joke. But Bird, stone-faced. He means every word of it. It wasn't about race, it was about respect.
I always tell this story about Larry Bird. I remember him, he was cursing under his breath. And I asked him, I said, Larry, what's going on with you? He says, you guys are being disrespectful to me. And I says, what are you talking about? He says, you guys are putting a white guy on me. That's disrespectful.
Wait, who's the white guy you put on him?
I can't remember who it was. I just started laughing. I had no comeback when he says, it's disrespectful when y'all put a white guy on me. And I'm sitting there like, I'm laughing in the middle of a game.
Bird expected the best defender on him at all times, no exceptions. If you weren't throwing your top guy at him, you were insulting him. Why it's hilarious. Only Larry Bird could weaponize a line like that mid-game and somehow make it both absurd and intimidating at the same time. This one proves Larry didn't need to yell to get his point across. Rookie Al Harrington misses a flight and shows up late, probably expecting a quick, don't let it happen again. Instead, Bird just looks at him and delivers one line. Don't ever effing be late again. No shouting, no lecture, just a quiet menace. Harrington said it felt like being scolded by a disappointed dad, worse than any screaming coach. You don't forget that kind of cold warning, especially from Larry Bird. Why it's hilarious, it's the perfect example of how Bird's presence alone could discipline you faster than 100 push-ups. When Bill Walton joined the Celtics, he came in ready to contribute, maybe share some offensive load. Bird shut that down on day one. Hey, I get all the shots on this team. Get your butt to the weak side and get some rebounds so I can shoot more. It sounds like a joke, except Bird then went out and dropped 40 points. No apologies, no compromise. Even legends like Walton had to adjust to Bird's rules. Why it's hilarious, it's peak Larry, making it clear who's in charge, then backing it up immediately on the scoreboard. This part blew my mind because Clyde Drexler was no slouch, even as a rookie. But the first time he guarded Larry Bird, he learned a lesson he'd never forget. Bird sizes him up and says, "You can't stop me." Drexler, still respectful, replies, "You're so confident." That's when Barry twists the knife. Confident? You're a rookie. You don't know anything. Then without hesitation, Bird starts torching him, bucket after bucket. 10 straight points, no mercy, no missed shots. It wasn't just scoring, it was domination with purpose. Bird wasn't trying to pad stats. He was sending a message. The NBA was his world, and rookies entered at their own risk. Why it's hilarious. Bird didn't just outplay Drexler, he dismantled his confidence before it could even develop. That's next-level psychological warfare. And here's where it gets even more ridiculous, because John Salley was part of the Bad Boy Pistons, famous for roughing people up. If anyone could intimidate Bird, it should have been them, but Salley found out quick. It didn't matter how physical you got, Bird would still hit shots you had no business letting go. "Every time I think he's out of bullets, he pulls out another clip," Salley said. And that's exactly how it felt. Bird hitting impossible jumpers, fadeaways, and bank shots like they were free throws. What made it worse? He did it with zero expression. No smirk, no fist pump, just pure, cold execution. That's why defenders hated guarding him, because you couldn't tell if he was tired, annoyed, or just getting warmed up. Why it's hilarious. Even Detroit's toughest couldn't break him, and Salley knew it. Bird didn't need flash. He killed you with efficiency and left you wondering what just happened. You'd think Magic Johnson, the most charismatic guy in basketball, could befriend anyone. But when he met Larry Bird in college, it didn't go quite like that. Magic tried to spark a conversation, all smiles and energy. Bird, he just stared back. No nod, no small talk, just silence. Magic later admitted, "I started disliking him too." And honestly, that cold, unshakable demeanor was classic Bird. He wasn't there to make friends. He was there to win.
Friends, but Larry didn't want none of that. You know, and so, you know, and so I said, okay, if that's how it's going to be, then we have to be like that. So I started disliking him.
Years later, after countless battles in the NBA Finals, they finally developed mutual respect. But in those early days, Bird's frostiness baffled even Magic. Why it's hilarious. The most likable player in the world couldn't crack Larry Bird's poker face. Now picture this, 1992 Dream Team practice. The greatest collection of basketball talent ever assembled. Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan are going at it in a heated scrimmage. Larry Bird's on the sideline, nursing his bad back.
Magic was saying, "You ain't the guy, and we got other players in this gym."
Don't be cheating on me.
Doesn't take much to get Michael going. Just a little something to tweak him, and it's on. Magic was saying, "Look, NBA's not yours yet. You know, I'm still here." Michael's like, "No, it's over. This is mine." And the funny thing was, Larry was sitting on the side, going, "It's his."
Everyone's watching the two Titans go back and forth like it's a heavyweight fight. Then Bird, without raising his voice or adding any drama, casually says, "It's Michael's league now." Just like that. No argument, no ego, just an unshakable truth. Coming from Bird, it wasn't a slight at Magic. It was a coronation for Jordan. And everyone in that gym knew it. Why it's hilarious. Only Bird could declare a power shift in basketball history with one sentence and make it feel like the weather report. Larry Bird's stories aren't funny because he tried to be. They're funny because he was dead serious. From roasting legends to calling his shots, his confidence was unmatched. So what's your favorite Bird moment? Drop it below, smash that like button and subscribe. I've got more epic NBA stories coming your way.